Well, I think you're foolish. Do you know how expensive meat is? Do you know just how hard it is to run your own business as a woman who already has the reputation of having the worst pies in London? Because I bloody well doubt it. I'm just a woman who society refuses to recognise as the hero in our beloved soulmate story. I was sleeping, and then suddenly I wasn't, because Todd is bloody shaking me, yelling,
"Wake up!"
We lock eyes, and he says,
"I need your help."
We race downstairs, and in the centre of my bakehouse lays a bloody dead body, and he just repeats,
"Help me!"
Christ. And suddenly, it's like I'm 12 years old all over again. I hear a thud. I race upstairs to find my mother's dead corpse laying in front of us. I tried to hide the rope from my little brother Louis. I look down, and Louis is looking up to me with absolute fear. Well, bloody hell, he should be scared. I just realised it's now my responsibility. But his mother always said, right, roll up your sleeves and let's get cracking. I set out to look for a job. A man named George Ezra interviewed me. He said Louis and I could move into his attic and I'll become the family maid. And once old enough, Louis would work in the pie shop George owned. George also had a wife named Angela. She insisted we call her Mom. So I did the washing, I scrubbed the floors, I stitched clothing, I cleaned the house, and once George and Mum had gone to bed, then we were allowed to eat. George used to come and sneak us treats every now and then when Mum wasn't looking. Did you know the name Angela is supposed to be a messenger of God? An angel? Yep, well neither did I, and I'll tell you something, there ain't nothing angelic about her. She really was an awful woman. She used to wake me up in the middle of the night just to remake her bed or to scrub the toilet after she'd finished using it. Or should I say finished destroying it? Very unladylike if you ask me. Right, as Mum always said, roll up your sleeves and let's get cracking. So my little brother Louis turned 11 and was officially old enough to work in the pie shop according to George. Louis loved it and George showed him all the tricks of the trade he did. I was cleaning the bathroom and I heard a very aggressive thud at the door. A man was yelling.
"Anyone here know a Louis?"
Mum charged to the door.
We caught this little turd wandering down the street with a big grin on his face. Claims that George Ezra gave him £1 to go buy himself a treat.
This boy's been stealing from us for weeks. It's about time you caught him.
I come round the corner and look at Louis in absolute disbelief. Tears streaming down his face. He's got a look of fear and terror in his eyes I've never seen before. Where are you taking him? She's lying! I didn't even get to say goodbye. I fought back the tears because his mother would always say, right, roll up your sleeves and let's get cracking. Not even a day after Louis was sent away, I was cleaning Mum's bathroom and she had arrived home with one of the neighbours.
Oh, it was awful. He stole from us, threatened to kill George. He's too traumatised to even talk about it, so don't say anything. It's no surprise he was killed. I don't know why we keep the other one.
May I remind you, Louis wasn't killed. The old git got him sent away. Sometimes she would come into my room at night and tell me there was a shipwreck and she'd hoped it was the one Louis was on. I really hated her. One night I was sleeping and then I heard a thud. I run downstairs and see Mum is choking on some sweets, which surprised me because that woman could eat anything. I looked down at her and she's purple. Purple really didn't suit her all that much now that I think about it. She looked up at me for help. I thought about it for about a second and then reality smacked me in the face. I noticed the sweets she's choking on are the sweets Louis bought the day she got him arrested. Good riddance. I mean, even if I did try to save her, she probably would have just blamed me and say that I tried to choke her. I can see she's a goner. I stare at her dead in the eyes and I say hi to my mother for me, Angela. I could tell she wanted to say something, but the whole dying thing was really getting in the way. I waited till the old hag took her last breath. And then I turned back round and went straight to bed. George was so distraught he shut the bakehouse and asked me to organise the funeral for his beloved. So I got lots of flowers to cover up the smell. It was getting foul, which makes sense. She was foul alive, so why would that change when she's dead? Poor George. I was so sick of him being so sad all the time. crying. I mean, he was only missing the touch of a woman. I'm sure of it. So if it's a woman he wants, a woman he'll get. So I charged up to his room, and boom! I dropped my robe. I guess you could say he wasn't so sad anymore. He reopened the bakehouse. Business was booming. So we got married because a man his age really shouldn't be left alone. And I didn't really mind the role of a married woman. George was nice enough, I guess. And it helped knowing Angela would be turning in her grave. 3 years went by. It was actually pretty pleasant.
Then one day George just didn't wake up.
I didn't really mind though, because I just inherited all his money and his business. I played the role of sad widow for about a week or so. Then I decided I needed to open up shop. I walked downstairs feeling on top of the world, and then it hits me. Louis was the one who got the apprenticeship. I just cleaned. I don't know a bloody thing about pies. About a week or two goes by, and the front page of the newspaper reads, Mrs. Lovett's Pie Shop. Worst pies in London. Fuck! Business went pretty downhill to say the least. Till one day, a Mr. Sweeney Todd walked into my shop. I was sleeping, and then suddenly I wasn't. Because Todd is bloody shaking me, yelling.
Wake up!
We lock eyes and he says,
I need your help.
We race downstairs, and in the centre of my bakehouse lays a bloody dead body. And he just repeats,
Help me.
I did what I do best. Oh, I should do best. I went down to the kitchen, grabbed the mincer, and away we went. Right? As Mother always said, roll up your sleeves and let's get cracking. I had a full shop with very happy customers. The meat was free, and I didn't have any complaints from the supplier, if you know what I mean. I still don't see the problem, really. I'm just a woman, trying to run a business. Tell me, sir, why are there no women in this courtroom? Is my crime for murder? Or is it because I, a woman, decided I wanted to be the one to provide for myself and my family? So you think I'm crazy? Insane? Well, is there a difference between being crazy and being strong? Because maybe you've just never had to do it.